Hello and welcome to the interview and ecosystem portion of my analysis project, The Technology Implications. Today we are discussing the impacts of technology on the fire service, both in general and specifically as felt by several members of the Sparta Area Fire District. The members I chose to interview all have multiple roles in our department, along with many years of experience. These members are Mike Arnold, currently District Chief, former EMT, 25 years as EMT, 49 years on the department. Robert Arnold, Assistant Chief, District Secretary, and Treasurer, 10 years. Juan Guevara, Captain, one of our training officers, currently our fire inspector, also fire instructor at WTC, and a full-time firefighter in the VA in Toma, 18 years. Brandon Perrin, our other training officer, EMT, fire instructor, 8 years. Josh McCown, firefighter, dispatcher, 12 years. Due to a health problem, I was not able to interview Assistant Chief Dan Shamans as I planned, so I switched to Ryan Smith, former Assistant Chief, now retired, fire instructor, former EMT, 26 years experience. I was able to interview Mike, Robert, Juan, and Brandon at the officers' meeting March 12th. We did a roundtable format, with each person giving their answers to questions I posed. Josh and Ryan were unable to be interviewed, so I had an informal conversation with both and added their responses. My initial plan was to ask the questions in order, but after our conversation got started, I let it freewheel and asked questions as needed to keep it going. When I asked the group what they considered the biggest overall improvement brought about by technology, the answer was overwhelmingly communication. Due to the extremely hazardous nature of this profession, being able to communicate effectively can literally be the difference between life and death, not only for the firefighters, but also for the people we're trying to help. Chief Arnold stated the difference between how it is now and how it used to be is mind blowing. Today we have the ability to alert our firefighters almost anywhere. Our members have pagers and handheld radios for getting the call out. We also have a page to text system that allows the audio file to be sent in a text message to each member, so if they are unable to receive the page itself, they can still hear what is going on. We've also recently added the I Am Responding app. When a page goes out, our members can signify if they are able to respond and how far away they are. This allows the chief the luxury of knowing what resources he can expect to have on scene and whether or not he needs to call for more help. Life safety is always the number one priority for our fire department. Technology continues to make it safer and easier for us to do our job. The first two pictures shown here are of a thermal imaging camera, commonly called a TIC. This handheld device allows firefighters to see hotspots and temperatures relative to surroundings, which allows us to not only be more efficient when fighting the fire, it also allows us to see through the darkness and smoke to see if there are any people trapped in need of rescue. The last photo shown is a self-contained breathing apparatus, or SCBA. This consists of an air bottle mounted to a pack with a detachable mask that gives us the ability to spend nearly half an hour in the dangerous atmospheres. This gives us the ability to attack the seat of the fire directly, which, when done properly, knocks the fire down faster and minimizes the amount of time spent fighting fire and the damage it causes. Chief Arnold is the only one in this group who has been around long enough to remember when the department did not have any air packs. He said the entire department only had 8 of the long rubber coats that firefighters wore then. If you weren't one of the first 8 people to respond, you fought fire in whatever you happened to be wearing that day. Chuckling, he noted, I went through a lot of shirts back then. He continued to say it was not uncommon for the firefighters to rotate in and out of buildings on a call, because you could only take so much smoke before you physically had to go outside. You'd go in, fight fire for a while, go out, throw up, and then go back in again. The things we were exposed to were certainly not good for you. No wonder most firefighters died young back then. When asked how technology has improved the job, rescue equipment was brought up. This slide shows one of the department's sets of the jaws of life. This equipment makes it possible to rescue people from car accidents, machinery accidents, anything where they need to be removed from machinery. Generally speaking, the first hour after a traumatic event is the most important for the people involved. So important, in fact, It's often referred to as the golden hour by rescue workers. Without this type of equipment, many more people would be lost each year. There was, in my opinion, a surprising amount of concern about technology playing too big a role in the fire service. With all the advances in both how the job is being done and the improvements in the safety for our firefighters, I didn't think there could be a negative effect of technology on the fire service. Since that, my mind has been changed. While technology certainly plays a vital role, and it will continue to in fighting fires, it cannot replace human reasoning and instincts. Ryan Smith expressed it best when he said, "Even with tech advancing in leaps and bounds, there is no gadget out there to replace experience. Watching how a fire moves, reading the smoke, listening to the sounds a structure makes while it's burning, all of these give warnings to firefighters. There's no gadget that can hear these and make the decisions. If we rely too heavily on technology and lose the ability to understand these signs, that could be an extremely costly lesson to have to relearn." Thank you.